Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. The greatest show on earth has returned.
This is ridiculous, Tony. This could be dangerous.
Rikki Thrash is back.
It's for you.
And better than ever.
Talk to me, Tony. But then again, danger is my middle name. So sign me up.
Action-packed adventures, heart-throbbing love stories, and hard-hitting, powerful music to bring you into the 1980s like never before.
Hey, darling.
Hi.
We only got one shot of this, Tony. We can't mess this up. We gotta stop playing around.
Sit back, grab that popcorn, and buckle up. Rikki Thrash is here to take you on the ride of your life. The world's favorite 80s action hero is coming to you live on television. Up next.
The world's greatest 80s action hero. But my Thrashers know exactly that is not where it ends. That's exactly where it begins. Because as you know, on the Rikki Thrash Show, there's only one option. One option indeed. And sometimes it's super easy to get comfortable. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to step outside your comfort zone. Kick back, relax, grab that popcorn, and get comfortable. And you might be thinking, Rikki Thrash, you're a little bit crazy for saying it's not time to get comfortable. And then literally 10 seconds later, you tell all of us, every single one of us, to get comfortable. It doesn't make sense, Rikki Thrash. Well, the one thing that does make sense is this. Tonight, a Friday night, May 1st, the start of May, 1984. As the sun is gleaming, easing its way through the trees, turning the buildings into silhouettes, as we always say, get ready for the wildest night of your dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. 7 p.m. Right on time. Ricky's never late. Here on the Rikki Thrash Show, welcome. I'd like to take this time to introduce the team behind the Rikki Thrash Show. From across the waters, sitting on a yacht party with a bunch of chicks. Ricky's assistant, doing all the dirty work behind the scenes, making this all happen. We have Tony, the assistant. Make some noise. And behind the camera tonight, moving left and right, making all the cinematic shots, making sure Ricky's in focus for the greatest entertainment on the planet. Make some noise for Giorgio. And ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, the one that makes it happen every single night he streams, except for the ones he doesn't. Put your hands together for the host of the greatest entertainment in all of this one room. His name is none other than Rikki Danger Haywire Uncomfortable Thrash. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd, the applause never stops. I don't care what you just saw. I don't know what that was about, but they never stop for the one and only Rikki Thrash. You're in for the wildest night of your dreams tonight on this Friday night, May 1st, starting off the month right with a little entertainment on this side of America. We're looking at Miami Vice tonight, stepping in to Vice City, where the 80s thrive and the popcorn is plentiful.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you've been here before, then I want to welcome you back to the greatest live broadcast of all Fridays this week. And if you don't know what this is, then you must be new here. Because on this stream, we bring out all of the butter, all of the extra butter, that is. And you know what we do with that extra butter? Well, I thought you'd never ask. We lather that extra popcorn that we brought in tonight, because tonight's gonna be a long one. I tell you what, we're doing at least 20 minutes tonight. At least. And you might be thinking, Rikki Thrash, we've already done 20 minutes, so the bar is set super low. You guys know me too well. It's good to be back on this Friday night. Nothing better than to celebrate the start of May in the 1980s. On the Rikki Thrash Show, the greatest entertainment that you will ever experience. Since last night, I tell you what, we went for a whopping 8 hours last night. And I don't regret a single moment out of that one. I tell you what, we had a blast all night. full of activity, full of music, full of just absolute awesomeness. And I'm glad everybody's back for more tonight, because we're doing it right. What do we got going on here? Come on now. Come on now. Tony, I don't pay you enough for this. Anyways, yes, you heard it here first. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony is across into the water in the middle of the ocean on a yacht party with a bunch of chicks. I don't know what that's about, but for some reason he does that a lot. But I told him, listen, Tony, you got one job and one job only. And that is to provide the stream and the broadcast with the smoothest butter as possible. The smoothest butter available. You know what he said? He said gladly, on one condition.
And that condition is, if the Thrashers are able to bring as much heat as they did last night, then ladies and gentlemen, Tony is gonna bring all the extra butter for all of you tonight to slather and slather and spread and lather and all the words all over that popcorn, because tonight we're getting greasy. We're getting that oily fingers, you know, that oily sensation all over your hands after you eat some greasy popcorn. Well, that's what it's all about tonight, because I want you to bring it all. I want you to bring all the heat. Tonight is the night of your lives, the night that never sleeps, the night that turns into the morning eventually as the sun goes down, turning the buildings into silhouettes across the bay. Rock hero fighting for crime, as we may shred another note one day and live in the 1980s as it goes on and never dies. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony hooked us up with the technology of the future so that we are able to make this possible. Thanks to the 1982 Macintosh desktop running it all, keeping everything smooth. I'll give you a little look over there real quick. Hold on. Wrong! Oh no! Tony! Tony, what happened? Bring it back. Tony, bring it back.
Try it now, Tony. There we go. All thanks to the 1982 Macintosh desktop computer, we are able to make this stream possible, to go live in front of the future and bring back a taste of the glory, the passion, the spirit, the vibrancy of the 1980s, the greatest decade of all time. Ladies and gentlemen.
I did not think that they could contain such power. One could rule the universe with it. You must find them for me and destroy them.
Tonight is a very important mission. Tony, what happened? Tony, never do that again. As I was saying, tonight is the night of not only your life, but my life as well. And the only way to back that up is to make this a totally tubular experience for everybody. So thank you for joining us here tonight on the greatest entertainment in all of this whole room. That's right. the $1 donation. Right, as I sit down, that's what happens. People just start throwing their $1 bills at me, and all of a sudden, when I start playing the synthesizers, everything just starts to get a little intense. They can't handle the thrash, man. But Rick Chaos is all about bringing the chaos tonight. So make some noise for Mr. Rick.
Chaos live in the thrash tonight is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're not ready, you better get ready. Let's do it.
So get ready. For an experience like nothing else on this planet, put on your members only jackets. If it's cold, if it's too hot, show off the guns. But, we gotta warm it up tonight. We gotta warm it up. I mean, last night, it's going to be hard to follow. It's going to be a hard broadcast to follow because you guys brought the heat tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to ask you for the first and final time. Are you ready? And if you are, then make some noise right now!
Thank you. I can already feel it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are bringing the heat tonight. We're already 20 minutes in. We have already broken records tonight. Check. Are we clipping again? Dadgummit. Check. Let's try that. Check. Check, check. We're not clipping now, huh? No, we're not, because we're the best. We're the best, baby. And we're bringing the best because we got the Thrashers on board. Look, if you're watching from Twitch, if you're watching from YouTube, either way, thank you for being here. For one, I love you. And two,
I want to say this. We're going to start out with some loops. We're going to start out jamming out to our own written original tracks that we build right here on the spot. No preparation. Listen, look, I know I was on time today, 7 o'clock on the dot. But Rikki Thrash does not prepare for any streams whatsoever. He doesn't write anything in advance. He doesn't do anything. Everything's on the spot. Whatever just comes through his fingers, whatever he just... Okay, I guess we're not playing anything tonight, just according to the synthesizer. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. Jeez. So... Let's... And if that sounds good to you. It might give you a little eerie sensation. But that's what it's all about. Oh, hold on. There it is. Already, right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, no pre-scripted music, nothing written down. We already got something. And we're going to work with that. And we're going to build a loop. And then we're going to enter Vice City on the latest and greatest technology that Tony has provided us with on stream from the future. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't follow yet, or you don't know who I am, or you have absolutely no clue on if this is a wig or not, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rikki Thrash, and my sunglasses are slightly sideways. But that's what it's all about. Because some people like to call me Rikki Sideways Thrash. Because we get a little sideways sometimes. If somebody puts their foot down and mans up and says, hey, the 90s are right around the corner. What are we going to do about it? Well, let's just say that somebody is me. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do about it. We're going to deliver the greatest entertainment on this planet and keep the 1980s alive, because in the future, it's not looking so hot. And that's what I got to do. How I gotta make it look hot? So let's get hot. And then it goes down to the... And then back to the... And then one more. If I can play it right. Dadgummit. No! I feel like I played it differently. I think I went back to the original. I don't know how I did that. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, no, then back. And then let's switch to the major. Oh. Let's not hit a wrong note, though. And then that's our song, baby. Figure out a tempo.
1, 2, 3, 4. Count with me if you know it. 4, 4, 1, 2, 3. A little ASMR with Rikki Thrash. Tonight we're gonna slow it down, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna count to our 4s. And if you can't count to 4, well, I got some great news for you. You just let Rikki Thrash handle it all. Because Rikki Thrash is gonna go for it all. Speaking of going for it all,
Rikki Thrash just dropped his latest single, okay? If you haven't checked it out yet, it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. It's everywhere, okay? Anywhere that sells music. And listen, you might be thinking, Rikki, how do you know of all this information? Like, how do you know what Spotify is? You live in the 1980s. I thought you'd never ask. You see, my assistant, Tony, he informs me on all these terminologies and in these words to say. Later, Vice. He informs me on all these, definitions and terms that you guys use and all this equipment that you guys have. And so I relay that information because I know I'm supposed to, okay? But other than that, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's just like whew, over my head. I don't even know what that means. But he just told me to say that to you. And I hope you go check it out because, you know, Tony, he's doing even though he's having a lot of fun on a yacht party with a bunch of chicks, he's doing his job. And, you know, we might hear from him every now and then. Sometimes he likes to call, like, in the middle of the stream, in the middle of, like, sometimes I'm just trying to finish one sentence, and then I can't even get to the end of my sentence. Tony, talk to me. Oh, this is not Tony. Hey, who's this? Oh, it's the pizza guy. Oh yeah, I ordered a pizza yesterday, and it never got delivered. So I was just kind of curious on what the situation there was. Oh, they closed. It was 2 a.m. when I ordered. Oh. Okay, I guess you're right. Yeah, we did stream for 8 hours last night, so it could have been a little late. Well, is there any way you can just, you know, maybe track that pizza down? I don't know. See if possibly we could maybe get another pizza. Because I think I already, you know, gave specific instructions for it. It was very, you know, my thrashers are a little picky too. They peak when the Rikki Thrash Show comes on. Everybody just peaks because it's just so awesome and super rad. So everybody's just at the highest point. Who am I? Oh, don't worry about it. Look, okay, just do like half pepperoni and half pineapple, and that should be fine. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks, man. All right. Take it easy. All right. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that.
Please shout to Sammy and Birdie, the Crazy 80s Sisters.
Sammy and Birdie, the Crazy 80s Sisters, live on the Rikki Thrash Show, getting the greatest taste of the 1980s. Getting a little crazy, because you know what they call me, ladies and gentlemen, Rikki Crazy Thrash. It's all the terms. You want to throw it in there, anything goes on the Rikki Thrash Show. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the $5 donation from Rosie Ray. 8833, to be specific. Thank you very much. Gabe says, this is outrageous. Well, they don't call me Ricky whatever, I'm kind of beating that joke to death. Anyways, so as I was saying, okay, usually Tony calls me I thought that was about to be Tony, but apparently it was the pizza guy. But anyways, so, you know, we'll be streaming and everything, and all of a sudden, like, Tony calls me before I can even finish up. Tony, talk to me. Oh, this isn't Tony. Who is this? See? No habla español. Just kidding. I speak all the Spanish. What's he got for me? Oh, that's terrible news. Oh, should I tell my thrashers about it or no? Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing. Yikes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll let them know. I'll let them know. I really don't want to, but since I'm talking about it, I guess I gotta let them know. Anyways, yes. Yeah. Totally. Sí, señorita. Mm-hmm. See. Okay. All right. Adios. Sorry about that. That was, what was that about? It was just don't worry about it. It was, okay, so Madonna is going on tour, and I had to get a ticket, and I left my ticket at the nail salon yesterday. Yes, I was getting a pedicure. Okay, I had to get these toes right. You do not want to see me without shoes on, that's for sure. It's like, get it. I mean, they literally had to bring a chainsaw out to get my toenails right. Oh, it doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we're bringing all the excitement, but I don't know what it is, okay? I get all these phone calls just from random people, And like, you know, usually it's Tony like checking in on the stream and everything, but I mean, I don't know. He's usually supposed to call right about now, but I don't know. Maybe he's just having a lot of fun on the boat. I really couldn't tell you. But what I could tell you is we're just going to keep minding our own business. Wait, actually, hold on a second. Before we get carried away, let's at least record it, because I'm going to forget this if I guess I could rewind the tape if I forget it, but I literally just wrote this on the spot, so let me at least record it. Yep, I forgot it. Let's see. Nope. You know, I thought about switching to the major there, but I think I'm going to keep it minor. And we'll slow the tempo up just a little bit. Check. 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 Okay.
All right, let's record this. And if you're ready, I want to see all the sunglasses in the fax machine messages as we speak, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it's giving us all kinds of glitches. Sometimes if we pick our hands up, it'll play. And it doesn't play on the first time. That's always great. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. I'm gonna tell you what. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure it out. That's what we're gonna do. How we doing tonight, my thrashers? Guys, you guys are always watching. I mean, you guys are always asking in the chat, like, oh, I hope Rikki doesn't read this. Like, this is ridiculous. Guys, I gotta. Giorgio is putting a lot of work in, flashing these messages in front of the screen. It's in front of what's a screen? In front of the paper, okay? He's holding up all the papers with the fax machine messages. I see everything. You come on the Rikki Thrash Show. You want to tell your secrets about Rikki Thrash? All I got to say is, let them fly, baby. I don't see them. Why would I want to know? That's crazy. Why would I want to know that you guys are talking about how cool Rikki Thrash is? I mean, we could end it like that if we wanted to. All right, let's see if this will work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it won't work if I play the wrong chord, so let's just try that again. Does that sound good to you? All right. Let's do this. Here we go. You know, when technology works against me, it's always great. I love that. You know what I mean? I know you guys hear the clank of the keys just being pressed down. I know that's not just me, all right? When the keyboard doesn't play when it's supposed to, that's always a pain. Frick. When Rikki doesn't play the right chords that he's supposed to, that's always a pain. Do want it a little slower, though. You messed me up! Kidding. Katie Martin. Bringing all the relief to the stream because I know there's a lot of tension right now. Everybody's like, what is Rikki Thrash going to do next? The keyboard isn't playing. The technology of the past is not responding. He had some internet outages the other day. I mean, everything's just going crazy. But then Katie Martin comes in like a bolt of lightning with a second-month subscription. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands together for the one, the only, Miss Katie Martin. Now, let's try to play just that, okay? Katie Martin's at a concert right now. Yeah, we're all curious. Don't just say that and not tell us what concert. What are we talking about? Are we talking Billy Idol? Are we talking Journey? Motley Crue? Rat? What are we seeing right now in 1980? Oh, you guys are from the future. What? I don't know what kind of bands are playing. Bustin' Jeeber or something. I don't even that was just a name I came up with. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gosh, love that. Oh yeah. 3, 4, 1. Ah! That was too slow, though. I'm not gonna lie. That was painfully slow. We gotta speed it up. Nothing pre-planned, ladies and gentlemen. This is off the top of the head. Here we go. Let's try it. Here we go. 2. I keep getting that chord wrong. You guys know it's like when I'm not recording, I can play it perfectly, but then the record button goes on and then boom, it's over. 3, 4. Oh my gosh. This is tough. 1, 2. I write the most complex chord progressions, ladies and gentlemen. This is the greatest entertainment of earth. Good enough. All right. The most epic, totally rad synthesizer intro is complete. Now that that is out of the way, I want to take a break. Okay? and just make sure everything's in check, okay? Make sure everything's running smooth outside. So if you're ready for that, yeah. Nice. Nice shot. Look at those leg muscles. All right, Tony, get it together, baby. All right. As you see, I just had to flex the leg muscles for a second. And I want you to just realize that Rikki Thrash is the live host of the greatest experience on earth. So knowing that, let's hop on outside on the balcony. I know the pool's nice and busy tonight, so let's go say hello to the ocean breeze, the Bay Area. Look across the pond, overlooking the city, to see all of the potential. Let's go. It's beautiful. The sun is setting across the bay as Rock Hero fights on rooftops. What's this? Talk to me. Oh, it is Tony this time, huh? Well, that's a coincidence. What you got, Tony? Oh, they need me, huh? Listen, last night was a successful, and I'm telling you, successful mission. Meeting on Smith & Wesson and Beretta, 19th Avenue and 11th Street. What a great moment, you know? Talk about jumping from one vehicle to the other. Got 2 feet right in the middle of my motorcycle as we're going 80 miles down Ocean Drive. Yeah, that's right. Heat of the moment, bullets flying. I do a backflip onto the other vehicle all at once. Super rad. Totally tubular. Tony, tonight's gonna be a good one. Got a lot of business to handle, a lot of deals to close, but I think we can do it. Together, looking over the city, making sure everything's set. And taking care of business, because that's what we do best, Tony. It's the party of our lives that starts tonight. And I tell you what, I don't care if we threw the biggest party at this Rikki Thrash mansion earlier, because I know a lot of people are just straggling and hanging around the balcony for some reason and just walking by without even me noticing, but sometimes it just has to be that way, you know? Sometimes... Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Who the heck was that guy? I don't know. But I know he must have been having a blast here at the Rikki Thrash mansion, because that's what we do. Let's get back to business, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, getting back to business is right. And if you're ready to feel that summer breeze through all that hair, hitting that chest as you ride on your chopper down the street with an attitude, sunglasses on, music pumping, adrenaline rolling. Then if you're ready for that and that sounds good to you, then let's play the most epic montage music of all time on the Rikki Thrash Show, the greatest experience that you will ever experience on all Friday nights this week. Hold on a second. What are we doing? I know I didn't play that wonky off-timed chord. I know that wasn't me. Rikki reminds me if Richard Simmons was an 80s wrestler. Well, we have the same name, so it works. That's cool, man. Whoa, I'm the best! Make some noise for me! I like it. But I think we can do better. You know what I mean? try that again. That's what I meant to do. Hold on. How we doing tonight, Thrashers? Gary says it sounds very 80s. Ozzy Osbourne, very dark vibe. Sarah likes it a lot.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting started on this Friday evening on the greatest show known to man. So sit tight. Grab that extra popcorn, grab that extra butter, lather it up. Sit back, get comfortable, because it's time to get uncomfortable with Rikki Thrash. I love it. I can tell you this right now. Tonight, as the most dangerous mission of all time goes down, we all need to be ready. I like this. Simple but beautiful. Beautiful music from a beautiful soul. $5 from Gary Starchild. The 80s hero we all have been freaking waiting for. Gary Starchild. Thank you for the $5 donation. It's time to bring back the 1980s. Not like that. All right, I think that's what. I'm good with that. Let's do that. I had to figure out the chords there, but it goes major there at the end, so I got to make sure to. Sound good to you or what? I love that chord. Anyway.
We got it.
I think it sounds a little better sped up a little bit. All right, time for the analog mode. And we're gonna build this up till we can't build no more.
Hold on. That didn't record. Oh! That was pretty rad. If I don't say so myself. How we doing, Thrashers? We got people listening through earbuds tonight as we build this fantastic beat of the evening. Then we're going to sit down and play some Vice City. Favorite 80s movie? Rambo 3, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now. That's super loud. I don't know why I did that twice in a row without learning my mistake. Now, three times is just a world record. That's ridiculous. 4. Man, that sounds so sick. All right. Anyway. Let's see if we can get this right. Okay? How about that? That sounds awesome, man. I'll tell you. Okay. Here we go. Off time. Gotta build the most epic beat of all time. Here we go. How do we build this? Think we get some of those in there. Hold on. Gotta get this right. Here we go. One, two, three, four. Now we're building my thrashers. We're getting it after it now. Come on now. Let me hear some noise right now. Thank you. That was pretty impressive, all right? I know. I know.
Feel like doing some push-ups right now for the Rocky 4 montage we're creating. I think that's good. I had to get some sort of beat before I went over to this thing, because the timing was throwing me off a little bit. Here we go. I hate it. I was off. There's no quantize for that, unfortunately. Let's try it though. Let's keep it going. Here we go. Not bad. I'll take it. Little bass guitar up next. Sounds like part of the movie where they suit up and head out to execute a drug bust. I think you just described the Rikki Thrash Show, because that's what we're about to do. We're about to suit up. We're about to lay down this bass, and we're gonna bust all the drugs. America's back. Thanks for the one. As we shoot up and get ready for this dangerous mission ahead, we have to ask ourselves a few things. Is it worth the risk to go in full force, not holding back, to bust the drugs, to get the dangerous criminal and turn them into the law? Will we win? Or will we lose? There's only one way to find out. First we got a tune. I know this is a certain mode, but I have no idea. I just play by ear, baby, whatever sounds good. I'm gonna lay this down and then we're gonna harmonize. kind of lost, but I will say this. When you're lost and you're not sure what quite to do, all you gotta do is look deep within. Look into the mirror, look into your own eyes, look into your own pocket that's inside out, and figure out a way to the other side. And tonight, it's all about the journey on how we get there. Not the destination, not the stars that we aim for, but the rocket that we ride and the engine that roars inside. That is how winning is accomplished. 2000. He's waiting on his guitar like a ninja. Thank you for the two. Let's just record something. Are we out of tune right now? ladies and gentlemen, as the calm rises before the storm, we know that it's a little bit too quiet. And at any moment, we have to be ready to answer the call, to save the city, to deal the business, to allow life to go on. We have to be ready to face that challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, Rikki Thrash, your favorite 80s action hero, leading the storm as the calm breeze sets on the Miami Ocean, across the bay, waiting upon the arrival of the crime and the darkness that is to come. But I just know that at any moment, we're ready for any battle. For the city. Are you on board?
Because all it takes is the mentality to bring you home. And to start again.
40,000 viewers, baby. Some kind of melody. It's like a Halloween themed melody that I'm trying to find. Completely unscripted. it somewhere. Who's ready for Halloween, baby? Halloween in May. That's what I'm talking about.
He's down to his last Marlboro and the gas tank in the 1989 Porsche 928 GT is almost empty.
Doc Harris is right with the $4.99. I'll never find her again. Down to my last Marlboro, my last cigarette. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I can't find my way back. All is lost. Nothing to hope for. Nothing but the cold, dreary air. My last sip in my empty Dasani water bottle. Nothing but desert and regret. Better play good now.
We got 170,000 viewers right now. Make some noise for yourselves.
Tonight, we're just getting started, baby. So grab that extra butter, and I want you to lather up that popcorn, because tonight, we're bringing all the heat that you can imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Samantha. Winter Madness, baby! Welcome to the family. If you're just joining, this is the 1980s, the greatest entertainment. Thank you for all the raids just now. We got a lot of new faces in the fax machine messages I see. But I want you to buckle up, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves tonight as Rikki Thrash takes you to new heights. So if that sounds good to you, let's go there. guys for all the gifted subs tonight, all the follows, and all the subscribers for yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rikki Thrash Show. And this is the 1980s. We're getting spooky because Halloween is right around the corner. And tonight, we're getting scary. My last name is Thrash. It has nothing to do with the genre, but I like some thrash metal.
Sometimes you have to be ready for that call. Always prepared. Never underestimated. But sometimes people get the wrong image. But I tell you who doesn't get the wrong image. We got everybody. We got all the people. Gifting subs. Rewarding themselves with subs. It doesn't matter because everybody tonight's got the right mindset. Let me try that again. Tonight, we dominate our opponent. But that's not the end of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, we intimidate our opponent. We intimidate our opponent. It doesn't matter. Heat of the battle. Prepared or unprepared. Look, you gotta bring everything you got to the table. Because you don't know whenever that call might come. You have to be ready to answer and follow through with what people are counting on you to do. So, if you're ready for that call, then stand prepared. Because it might come at any moment. Talk to me, Tony. They broke loose, huh? Tony. You can't be serious right now. Tony, you have to be joking. That's impossible. We had him locked down, Tony. What happened? Tony. It's not even about covering it up. It's not even about covering it up this time, Tony. We slipped up. Bottom line. And listen, we got everybody. We got Jupiter coming to the family, joining the Thrashers. But Tony, we slipped up into the story. I thought we did everything right, Tony. I thought we did everything right. But the only thing we can hope for is a second chance. Tony, a second chance isn't always given to us. But all we can do is control what we can control and take this second run and get this guy. Tony, I'm gonna hop in my 82 T-Top Camaro and I'm gonna drive towards the sunset to let this settle, to allow me time to think about this. Because we all know a sunset goes a long way, especially on Ocean Drive. Tony, bottom line is, we slipped up. But when you have the mindset of a true warrior, and a lot of people depend on one man, Tony, something must be done. We can't just hold back. We can't sit back while everybody else is asleep. Tony, people rely on us to do our job. All I can say is, meet me at the docks, midnight. This time, we'll get 'em. Why me? This is Rikki. I know. I'll be there. Hey. I'm sorry for what happened. I know it's not a laughable matter, and a lot is on the line. But this is a serious business. And I promise you that nothing will be able to take the fury that is about to be unleashed. Consider this a gift. And consider this just a temporary goodbye. I'll update you in the morning. And one more thing. Rikki Thrash is putting it all on the line. Hasta luego. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. As you continue to applaud me. Oh, well, this is awkward. Hey. Oh, did you guys see all that? Oh, this is embarrassing. That was, usually the crowd, continues to cheer even after an awkward moment like that. But yeah, right, guys, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the greatest live broadcast in all of this whole room. I know. Look, I know that's saying a lot, and hold on. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on a minute. Now wait a second. Hold your horses. Hold all the horses tonight, because tonight we're getting crazy. And you know what? My Thrashers, you know why we're getting crazy? It's because tonight, hold on a minute, hold on. What's this? Hold on. I'm getting a message. It's Tony. He's communicating through the dial-up speed. You know what he says? He says we're sitting at 163,000 viewers on Twitch, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That is the kind of mentality we need going into this mission. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a round of applause. We're just getting started. I haven't even said hello yet. We got Vapor Vice, we got Snort House, Melka Pecan, Drug Blind, Joe. And that's just to name like 6. Okay, fine. 6,000. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourself a round of applause for being here tonight and sticking through all the trouble and all the drama. But ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you have to stick through and endure the pain. And you know what helps with that? Is when Cage Crawford subscribes for the 2nd month in a row. Give yourself a round of applause, Cage. Thank you all for being here tonight. Listen, we set world records last night, streaming for about 8 hours and just having a blast. Tonight, we're going to be playing some Grand Theft Auto Vice City. See how far we get, Play a few missions. But like I said, we just started, man. We've been going all night, but to me, you blink and it's gone. And that's what happened. I blinked, and all of a sudden I got like 3 business deals to work out, on the phone. It's some very important matters on my hands, but it doesn't matter, okay? Because this is the 1980s, everything is over the top. And if you're not over the top, then you might as well just lay down and get close to the floor and cry about it. That's all I gotta say. Next segment.
You better believe I'm eating a salad tonight, baby.
Been live for 38 hours. It's pretty incredible. Welcome back to me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching right now and you haven't followed for some odd reason, then I want you to do that right now before I follow you. Here I am throwing out threats. That was weird.
Excess is the definition of success.
Excess is the definition of success. I love it. With a $5 donation, thank you, Kruno Peric. I don't think I've ever seen a white members only jacket, only usually red, tan, or gray, huh? Yeah, man. You know what's funny? I was on... Actually, somebody gave me this jacket, and for the longest time, I always thought it was too small. I don't know why. It fits perfectly. But I always thought it was too small, so it was just sitting in this little grocery bag for like 3 years straight, and I didn't wear it because I always thought it just didn't fit. I was just gonna give it away sometime. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try this on again 3 years later, and it's like the best jacket ever. I love it. This is the 1980s. Of course I'm streaming with a Sony VHS camera. Welcome. If you're new here, which a lot of you might be, because we got a couple raids in, I will say this. I'm gonna skip that song. My name is Rikki Thrash. I live in the 1980s. And my assistant Tony has set me up with a lot of fancy equipment to be able to stream and go live to a broadcast via broadcast to a live futuristic audience in 2026 to give you a taste of the 1980s, the greatest decade alive, and to keep the most high spirit, vibrancy of that era alive. This must happen. So, the fact that you all are here, we have 167,000 viewers right now. It means a lot. And it means that the 80s still stand. That means that there's people out there in 2026, where you guys are watching from, that have hope that the 80s are still around. So give yourself a round of applause tonight. That's what I'm talking about. I won't even wear the Terminator biker jacket anymore. I prefer the Mandarin collar biker jacket like Hugh Jackman wears as Wolverine. I don't even know who Hugh Jackman is, but Wolverine's pretty cool, man. I tell you what, tonight's pretty cool because we got a million followers right now, and I'll tell you what, we are just riding the high. And guess what? We're transitioning into our next segment. It's already 3 hours into stream, and I haven't even said hello yet. I'm spitting all over the place like I usually do, typical. And I'm bringing the passion. Rikki Thrash is bringing the passion, ladies and gentlemen. So you better lock in, get your mind right, and join the family. All right. Passion for fashion, that's right. Thrashers unite. That's what I like to hear, baby. Give it up for Mr. McPoo. Yeah. It's the fire we need tonight. Such good energy tonight. Listen, it takes one to know one, baby. All right, you guys are bringing the heat, the fire, and I'm just returning the favor. That's all it takes, baby. I bring the energy every night. All it takes is for you to show up and be ready to ignite. And if that sounds good to you, then let's just do that. Last night was fun, ladies and gentlemen. I think we set records last night. All right, don't freak out. Okay, freak out. Okay, good. You have permission to freak out now. You're good. This Lexi Panda says, I love you, Rikki. This is the best. You guys are awesome. Hey, check this out. Pretty cool, right? With a subscription to follow. All right. Now it's time. Now Panda's aboard, so, we can start the party now. That's what I'm talking about, Panda. That's what I'm talking about. All right, listen, I hate to do this to you, but you know what? Screw it. Whatever. Never mind. Forget it. It wrapped at 2:30. You only missed 15 minutes, Maddie. That wasn't much, okay? Joe already knows what I was about to say. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just kind of in this pickle. Last night we almost got kicked off and almost got a strike. So I don't want to risk that. I'm kind of doing you guys a favor over on YouTube and streaming, but I don't know. It's risky. We got everybody over on Twitch, though. That's where the real party is. So if you're not on Twitch, go ahead and join Twitch, because I'm not always going to be on YouTube. Mr. McPoo! Welcome to the family. Thank you for the subscription. Let's see what we can do tonight. Jupiter came over from YouTube because I'm here to party. That's what he says. Look, if we got enough people with the right mindset, just like Jupiter, I think this party is going to be hitting world records, like literally just hitting them and then beyond. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a sample of what's the potential of what's to come. Anyway, hold on. Speaking of copyrights, though, hold on, everybody just pause. I mean, we're playing all kinds of copyrighted music right now. So, YouTube, I'm sorry to do this, but we're about to get into the weeds of Vice City, and they have the greatest soundtrack of all time. But I mean, it's gonna, YouTube's gonna kick me off eventually if I keep streaming it. So, I'm gonna have to be. Cage is over there. Twitch time, YouTubers, come on, let's go. Cage is like, what do you call those dogs that round the cows? And I don't know what you call those dogs, but it's like the dog that rounds the cows up and like sends them to the other pasture. Yeah, YouTube's a lot harder on copyrighted music, unfortunately. I mean, we've gotten kicked off middle of stream a couple times, but YouTube also it doesn't have as many features that I like to use, but Mike's on board. Time to go to Twitch. All right, YouTube, I'm kicking you off right now, all right? I'll see you on Twitch. We're over on Twitch right now, all right? Anyways, I'll see you over there. Okay, now that the losers are gone. Just kidding.